Good evening, everyone. Welcome to 10 Dead Rats, an old school D&D and Warhammer mashup. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. On a very special night at 10 Dead Rats Land.
Very special.
First off, I would like to introduce our special guest for the evening, Andy Grimaldi. Welcome, Andy.
Yay! Hi, thanks for having me. Yay!
So very excited to have Andy on board for tonight. We will be introducing her character in a few. As mentioned, we may off and on have a few guests over the course of the next few episodes. So very exciting. What else? Some of us are a little dressed up. In case you missed last episode, exciting things are happening and we felt inspired, so here we are. And my chair is running over my cable here. That's perfect.
It occurs to me that we're all wearing dresses, so this tie is not actually appropriate.
Whatever. You wearing a tie over your dress?
Yeah.
I could be, yeah.
It's probably the tie of your bonnet.
There you go.
Right.
That's right.
Can I bonnet this? Let's
ties.
just, what do I don't, I'll just
Make
wrap
that
it around
into
my
a
head.
tie.
It's cool, yeah.
Excellent. That's right, Max. I was expecting a nice pony dress from you.
As it turns out, I don't actually own any dresses, and my girlfriend is like a full foot shorter than me, so that would be a tough squeeze, you know?
Excellent. All right. Well, okay. I think that's basically the only announcement I have. Does anybody else have anything else they want to share with the audience tonight? That sounds like a big no.
No.
So, all right. Without further ado, let's jump into the next episode of 10 Dead Rats.
kind of risky endeavor, I guess.
Yeah. Welcome, everyone. So last week on 10 Dead Rats, the gang took a tour of Kemperbad with their new friend Sergey. Indigo and Yeffy went dress shopping. Quite successfully. I believe that Yeffy has a very fine, almost noble level quality dress, whereas Indigo has a pretty decent dress, although wears it quite awkwardly on top of his armor and weapons. And Bruno is in a pretty pony dress and bonnet. Yeah.
That's what you get for not shopping with us.
I think it looks great. It's height of fashion, as far as I know.
That's right. Bruno spent his time instead down at the Temple of Sigmar, where he met a sister of Sigmar named Sighilda, and told her about his dire warnings of a potential chaos infiltration, and she shared with him some of her news that she had heard about possibly maybe the Emperor's own son might be afflicted with chaos. But made a nice connection there. Perhaps somebody who could help out if things go badly.
Connections.
Yeffy and Indigo
friends
then
outside the group.
Yeah. Yeffy and Indigo then staked out Count Orlock's house and then decided to approach it and inform him that Deborah was in town, or inform his people that Deborah was in town. This caused some excitement amongst the servants and eventually produced an invitation for dinner. The group reconvened that evening at their tavern, got into their fancy clothes, and headed off to Count Orlock's for what they assumed to be a grand ball similar to the one that they had seen previously in Altdorf, but instead walked in on what appeared to be a very quiet, fancy dinner party.
It's not looking good.
Yeah. It's fine.
You
As long as everyone here likes as long as everyone here is talking about war, Indigo will be fine.
Yeah, great. Right, what are the topics we know? Sort of backroom medical procedures, stealing things, violence. Yeah.
So,
That covers all of them.
to review,
We're so screwed.
As the party walks in onto this scene, they see a long table set elaborately for dinner. Many servants scurry about, preparing to serve the food. At the long table, there is a variety of people seen. There is an elderly, rotund Estalian couple who look quite nobly dressed, fairly close to the party. There appears to be a member of one of the wizard colleges in a fine navy robe. And there is a young woman in a pale blue dress with big yellow curls on her head. Very attractive young lady sitting fairly close to the head of the table. Across from there is a slender man with a thin goatee, dressed all in black, who has the bearings of a physician. As the Estalian Lord shifts in his seat, you all happen to notice another person that was previously unseen, a diminutive dwarf.
Was there the whole time.
Set between the physician and the Estalian Lord comes into view. Quinn, perhaps you can tell us what your character looks like.
Well, she's pretty short, even for a dwarf, sort of solid, just dressed in fancy clothes, but they're not particularly elegant. They just look like someone walked into a department store and said, what is the precise, correct clothing to wear for this level of dinner party, and just looks very, very awkward to be here at this private dinner party.
Excellent.
Yep.
Seated at the head of the table is none other than Count Orlock himself, looking as fine as ever in his nice garbs. The only difference being the eye patch that he wears now. We ended as he gasped in recognition. Oh man. No depth perception as I try to run the show. That's going to make things fun.
How hard it is for Orlock in his day-to-day life.
Yes. Dedicated to my craft here. Orlock kind of semi-rises off his seat as he sees your group announced to the party, looks up and just gasps, Deborah, you've come at last!
Oh. Yeah.
So what's the total count of people at this party?
Currently 7 seated around the table.
I give a little, curtsy.
Yeah, I think Indigo is frozen. Just does not move. And
Excellent.
Just waiting for Yeti to explain whatever is happening.
Yeah, Yeti looks nervously around the room a little bit, like, "Oh no, this is not what I wanted." Count Orlock. Yes, we have arrived.
I thought you'd never return. I'm so glad to see you and that you've accepted my invitation. You fools! He turns, looking at the servants around him. Don't just stand there. Do your job. Put more seats at the table. Damn it! The servants quickly start scurrying about, sort of making space at the table, and start escorting each of you to seats. If you will allow yourselves to be led.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, good. Yeah.
Okay. Great.
I'm glad you thought of me and got me a seat.
Excellent.
Then.
So you're ushered to your seats.
Oh no!
Amazing.
You're ushered to your seats. People are shifted about. Space is made here and there, so you're kind of distributed about. You'll notice here on the seating chart, which I'm displaying now, that I have given not the actual names of the other characters yet because you have yet to meet them, but more indication of their garb, as I mentioned them, sort of by color. So at the head, for those of you listening to the podcast and can't see this lovely graphic, at the head of the table is seen Count Orlock. To his left is Dr. Black, and to his right, Lady Cyan. Next in line down the table are Indigo and Yeffy. Next to Indigo so Indigo is now seated between Lady Cyan and Quinn, and Yeffy between Dr. Black and Magister Navy. Towards the end of the table, seated across from each other, are Bruno next to Quinn and Lord Carmine next to Magister Navy, and directly all the way across from Count Orlock is Lady Carmine.
This really feels like a game of Clue at this point.
Yes. Excellent. I think there was mention last time of it being perhaps that you had been sucked into an Agatha Christie novel, so I thought I would play into that. But more, I just wanted to give you something to go on here. So this is how you're arraigned, how you're seated. So with some scurrying about and pardon me's and etc. The servants seat each of you, place settings before you, and an initial soup course is served. Tomato soup, my favorite. Count Orlock starts sipping his thick dark red tomato soup.
Indigo will politely smile and nod to everybody around him. I think he makes a lot of noise as he moves because he's wearing a lot of gear under his dress. He definitely clanks and clinks a little bit as he sits down and tries to move as little as possible while eating soup, very stiff-armed, trying not to rattle in the rest of his armor.
Excellent. Indigo, you notice seated there between Quinn and Lady Cyan. That's to your left, Lady Cyan. So a lovely young woman in a pale blue dress with big golden curls all piled up on top of her head very ornately. You notice also a heavy scent of lavender coming from her, as if she is perhaps wearing overmuch perfume.
Too many colors there.
Oh.
Yeah. I was sitting next to her just before, and I'm very pleased to have been moved a little bit down.
The scent change for you, Quinn, has gone from this heady lavender perfume to a kind of a rusty, oiled leather and metal smell coming off of the person sitting next to you, who's clearly... did you shave, Indigo? Did you shave?
I think Indigo shaved.
Indigo shaved. Okay,
Shave,
so a cleanly shaven young man, clearly wearing armor, and on top of that, a nice dress.
Is Indigo pulling it off?
No,
I don't think so. If Indigo were a more competent gentleman, he probably could, but he's very clearly out of his element here.
How high up on the table am I?
Yeah, you're you're kind of fairly low. Although if you show signs of difficulty, eventually some of the servants come by with some fairly large volumes of some kind of large leather-bound book.
Oh, excellent! Oh, thank you so much. Oh, perfect. Very good. Yes. Thank you. Yes, I'm a human child, so I need. Yes.
Oh dear.
As a young girl, thank you. I'm gonna pick up my soup and just drink it straight from the bowl completely.
Okay. Actually appears to be it's a fairly tasty tomato soup.
Oh.
Kind of thought it was gonna be blood. All right.
This is probably blood.
Yeah.
Hello. Are you a halfling? Yeah.
Dwarf,
Oh.
but us short people got to stick together. I've also
you're so
got
small.
underneath me an encyclopedia, I assume.
Oh yeah. That's...
We have volumes 4 and 5.
Oh great. Yes. Well, I'm not. I'm a young girl. So, but I just like halflings. I think they're cool. So
Sure.
it would have been nice. But yeah,
Sure.
dwarves are great too.
So is this your first dinner party ever?
Yes, because I'm so young. Right? Yeah. Yes, because I'm. It is. I don't know. It's totally new to me.
Excellent.
And
Well, usually
yes.
I sort of slide the spoon a little bit closer to Bruno, just trying to help. I assume he does not take it.
This is completely gone. I'm gonna. Oh, great. Is there a
Yeah,
salad
Quinn just
course,
sort of-
or what is?
I would
Doesn't
say
this
Quinn
dinner
just
normally come
turns
with
straight
rolls?
to Indigo.
Some nice rolls or some bread. Do we miss the bread? Do we miss the rolls? Is there like the bottomless rolls?
As soon as you ask that, Orlock turns, "Damn it, you idiots! Bring rolls already, why don't you?" And very quickly, some of the servants bring out and set out some rolls in front of you, Yeffy.
Thank you for the invitation. This is lovely. We were just passing through, you know.
Oh, I'm so glad you've come and accepted my invitation and come to visit me. Tell me, Deborah, what brings you to Camperbad, Sax? I've missed you terribly.
We're selling, got a boat? No. We got me talking, there, Count. We're in the market for wine, and we're selling some wine. And I was looking at the lovely shops in the area, and of course my ladies needed new dresses, so we were shopping. Who is everyone? I think introductions is that's kind of rude, right? They've not introduced anyone and just talking to me about what I do for a profession.
In fact, the table is fairly. The table is very grand, and the settings are, you know, there's a lot of plates and forks and knives, and it's all maybe probably somewhat overwhelming to you. But it all requires a bunch of space. So there's actually a fair amount of space between you and your next neighbors. So in fact, like to talk to you, Yeffy, Orlock's kind of like raising his voice and like pitching it across the table. So like a general introduction feels like it's going to be difficult to pull off, but it would also be fairly easy for you to have aside conversations with your immediate neighbors. As you mention this, introductions. The gentleman seated to your right, Yeffy, turns to you and he says, "Oh, terribly sorry. I'm Dr. Phineas T. Polk. Pleased to make your acquaintance." And you can see he's, dressed in black, fairly, again, slender man, a thin goatee. And he raises a glass to you. Raises a wine glass.
Lovely. I'm Deborah Broxson.
Deborah Broxson, pleased to meet you. And to your left, Yeffy, the gentleman to your left leans in and tries to speak to you. And of course, he and the doctor are far enough apart that they really can't quite hear each other very well unless they raise their voices. But I say, I'm pleased to meet you, Deborah. I'm Magister Dieter von Sterngucker of the Celestial Order. The pleasure's all mine.
Excellent. It's a pleasure to meet you. Do you come here often?
Oh, from time to time, I'm an old acquaintance with the Orlock family and have done much. They are collectors, you see, and amateur astronomers in their own right, and so we occasionally speak. This is my good friend Quinn. He motions across the table to the dwarf across the way.
Hi! Nice to see a friendly face here at these parties. I sort of lean. I guess I would have to lean halfway across the table to try and shake Yeffy's hand. Yeah, I try to.
Yeah, it's super awkward. It's super awkward. Two dwarf ladies leaning across this very,
Yeffy sees you do that, and she just goes, "Yeah, of course," because it's like second nature. Like, I'm gonna shake this lady's hand. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Quinn's been talking to Bruno and kind of looking like more and more sad, and the second her eyes meet Yeffy, it's just, yes! My dwarf!
I see that a lot.
Oh. So, wine selling. That's an interesting trade.
From Sunderland.
From Sunderland.
Sunderland.
Yeah. What?
Yeah,
We sold it
What?
here
What?
to this.
Oh, what?
We sold it here. This is where we got it. This is where we sold it to this party.
Cool.
This is the wine. So if you like it,
It's
our
great wine. It's wonderful wine. Thank you so much.
Great.
Thank you so much. I raise a glass to Yeffy.
I'm glad you're enjoying it.
It is actually a very fine wine. It is actually quite delicious. For anyone who has the palate to detect it. Bruno, the lady seated at the foot of the table leans over towards you, somewhat very fancily dressed. The colors and the style is clearly Estalian. She's a bit older, a bit matronly, perhaps. Her dark black hair is tied back with a fairly fancy hat resting on top, and she leans forward to you, Bruno, and she says, "Hello, I am Lady Maria Catarina Sanselvio de Vialdo y los Narcos. Who do I have the pleasure of addressing?" She holds out her hand, her jeweled, ringed hands to you, gently.
I am Bruna,
Bruna.
a human girl.
Hola, Bruna. And she turns to her right to the gentleman, and she just starts speaking in rapid Estalian to him. And then
Right.
and then he looks at you and he says, hello, I am pleasing to meet you. And the woman says, "Oh, you must forgive my husband. His Reichspiel is not very good yet."
That was great. That was perfect. It sounded great. Yeah. This down here. Oh, way down here is my mom. Girl. We got a name beforehand.
That's me.
We should be seated next to each other, but we're not. It's I'm an
It's
adult.
fine.
I'm very
It's
old
okay.
soul. Yeah.
She's independent. She's very independent for her age. Yep.
Of 8
This is
8 years old. Of 8, yeah.
Indigo, the lady seated to your left, leans in to Count Orlock and says something to him, actually pitched fairly low and quietly, such that it just comes to you as kind of a murmur. You can't quite hear what she's saying. But you're getting this kind of fairly haughty vibe off of her, like she doesn't even really want to turn and directly address you.
She doesn't like your dress.
I think it's a lovely dress.
Thank you.
Nice. Very
I spent a
Indigirl,
lot of
was
money
it?
on it. Yep. That's
Indigirl
me.
Fine Bottom. Indigirl Fine Bottom. And I am Bruna Fine
Indigirl.
Bottom. Where,
And
yep.
I am Quinn Fireforged. I think these are all perfectly normal names.
Yep. Everybody's just got normal names here. Nice to meet you.
And you as well. Are you, as a family unit, all involved in the wine trade, or is that just Deborah's business?
Deborah and I, we're close family friends.
Lovely.
Deborah and
Lovely.
the Fine Bottoms.
Aunt Deborah, I call her. Old Auntie Deborah.
I don't suppose you ever dabble in metals or rocks or things, or are you just all above ground wine? Okay, grapes. That's fine.
Yeah, wine, boats.
Well, sometimes we do other trades. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I know we're carrying some paper. And, go ahead.
Oh, no. You could just tell me paper and things. That's fine.
Yeah.
I'm not looking for paper and things, but that is a fascinating trade, and I'm sure that
Are you
it's
looking for
fascinating.
something?
Something in particular, but if it's not your thing, I'm very specifically looking for meteorological objects, rocks,
Like weird
metal,
rocks?
that kind of space.
Like
Weird rocks. Yeah, something. I do a lot of clockwork myself. I do a lot of engineering and things, so it's just for fun. That's all. Just fun.
Oh.
No real intense
Oh.
interest in that. So
Like any strange metals and things that might... interesting.
well,
Huh.
if you have something, I'd be happy to take a look at it. I'm pretty good at identifying them.
Yeah, maybe after dinner we could talk.
Of course.
Yeah.
Do you have this? At this point, the Magister leans in. I say, have you yourselves? He's looking sort of towards Yeffy, and I guess Indigo, who is across from Yeffy. Do you have yourselves interest in the astrological? My dear friend Quinn, of course, and I were speaking recently of the emergence of not too long ago of Morsley, which hung very heavy in the sky. And it's not uncommon for some remnants of celestial bodies to eventually make their way to the old world. It's happened from time to time in the past, though I have no personal experience of actually seeing such artifacts.
Yes, it would be so fascinating to just get a chance to look at some. Just a very, 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 very small piece would be. I
don't think we've seen anything like that. We saw Morsley when it was hanging low. We were in Bogenhofen at the time. That was truly frightening, I have to say.
It was something.
Morsley
It was such a cool event, though.
Is a very tricky body to track. You know, its movements are very strange. Many astronomers in their day have attempted to map or graph its movements across the sky, and it's a very difficult thing to do. Unfortunately, we have not seen anyone, even in our own colleges, who've been able to predict its next occurrence with any great accuracy.
So, have you ever heard of some old observatories, like along rivers or something? Because I've heard in school about such things. Maybe Elvin, people looking at stars.
Is that something I might know about?
You have personally not heard of any such thing. And the Magister says, "Oh, of course, there's an observatory at the Celestial College in Altdorf where one can observe the night sky. But I'm not aware of others. Certain families, I suppose, who have enough wealth to invest in such thing and the interest could build such a structure. I think it's not unheard of, although I'm not aware of any such families that have done so." One would have great families. I'm sorry.
Too bad you don't have any families that would have done that might have bought something that large. You know, it's just that's too bad. We'd like to talk to them.
Well, one might inquire our host. The Orlocks have been around for some time, and his interests in the academic are diverse, and he is far more knowledgeable than one would suspect from his charismatic mannerisms.
He's very well read for his age. You could say.
Indeed, one could say that.
Well, yeah.
As you're having this conversation, that the soup gets cleared and the main course gets served, and wine is continuously poured for anybody who wants more. The servants are very attentive and continue to keep anything that you ask for ultimately is brought forward.
Bruno drinking just a ton of wine.
Excellent.
Yeah, to go too.
Really, yeah.
It's very nice wine.
I think at first Quinn tries to kind of push it out of Bruno's way, and the more Bruno goes for it, it just realized that this is I think she was willing to buy into the fiction for the first, meeting everybody, and now it's quite clear that that's not the case of what's happening.
Yeah. It's a very thin disguise.
Excuse me, no. This is grape juice. Thank you. Yes, no, you were good.
Yeah. All right. Well, just let me know if I can help. Between you and your mom or anything you need.
Yeah.
This is your first dinner party. I've been to a lot of dinner parties, so.
Okay. Interesting.
Is that how you know Orlock?
Oh, no. I'm a +1. I've just been, I've just been meeting a lot of people over the past couple months, just trying to see if anyone's got any materials I can use. I've just been to a lot of parties, and this one, for the record, it's okay.
Oh,
Medium.
cool. Well, that's good to know. So you're dating the wizard then?
Oh, no.
+1. Yeah.
It's a private. Maybe.
Wizard?
I don't know. That is
We've
not
just met,
polite
so.
dinner conversation, I think.
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry. I'm a child, so I don't know. I don't know what is correct in these situations. You're right. You're right.
I'm laughing in character. I'm just laughing at you now.
Excellent.
Indigo, what is your lovely daughter saying? I can't quite hear her. Is she saying something stupid? I mean, is she saying something great again, like she always does when she says really intelligent, awesome things?
She's just being perfect, Deborah. You don't need to worry about her. I'll make sure she behaves.
I'm very precocious. A lot of people say that.
Don't worry about me. You are the most fun dinner guests I've met at one of these things ever.
Oh,
Full
wow.
stop ever. So this is more fun than they typically are.
Oh, good. Paul.
Yes.
While this is going on, I want to kind of I'm very suspicious of the person next to me, of whatever color, Lady Siam, right, who's sitting next to me.
Yeah.
I kind of want to give her a couple of glances while she's talking to Orlock or doing whatever. I'm specifically looking to see if she's wearing anything purple.
Okay.
That I
Okay.
can see.
You can roll me an intelligence test. There's nothing obvious on her garb that's purple. Again, it's kind of this baby blue color that she's wearing.
Okay, I have a 16.
Okay, yeah, you're not seeing any obvious purple, hair clips or other, shoes or anything like that.
Okay.
Yeah. And she occasionally leans in and has a quiet conversation with Orlock, although she seems to be, again, kind of giving you a little bit of the cold shoulder, Indigo. The courses progress, and eventually, Orlock says, I'm stuffed. I couldn't possibly have another bite. Let us all repair to the smoking room. If you would, Dr. Black, for just a moment, I'd like to have a word with you in my study. And please, if everyone would partake of the fine views and cigars, or pipes, if you like them, in the smoking room, I'll be right there. And he kind of gets up, and other folks start to get up, and he escorts Dr. Black through a side door as the servants kind of try to usher everyone else through a set of double doors on another side of the dining room that appears to lead into a nice sitting room. There's a fire there. There's a lot of odd bits of furniture, chairs and sofas and whatnot scattered about. None big enough for the whole group to sit at, right? Intentionally positioned to try and force people to mingle and move about.
Okay.
Is he gonna eat that doctor?
I
My belly's gonna eat that doctor.
I tug at one of the servant's sleeves.
Yes, sir? Can I help you?
Oh, I'm a little
madam?
girl. Excuse
Sorry,
me.
forgive me, little girl.
Oh.
How can I be of
Speaking
assistance?
of which, I need to go to the little girl's room, the bathroom. Where is that?
Oh, just follow me this way.
I can find my own way if you just...
Of course not. You would certainly get lost, little girl. I shall take you. Come along. He holds out his hand, actually,
you're right.
to take your hand.
Oh,
And
my hand just super calloused.
kind of looks at the hair on the back of your hand.
Okay.
Leads you actually into a small side chamber, which appears to be a guest bedroom. You can see there's a bed and a vanity and whatnot, and there's a chamber pot, and he motions.
Well, if I could just have a little privacy, that would
Of course. And he
Oh, thanks. Yeah.
steps outside and closes the door.
That didn't work. Is he waiting outside the door?
You're not sure. He steps outside and closes the door. What do you do?
Is there another exit from this?
You're still on the first floor. There is a window, but there's not another door.
I don't know if you all had other plans here.
Excellent. Back in the
Yeah.
smoking room.
Make him a smoking room.
Back in the smoking room. Hang on, let me get my eye patch back on here.
Oh, I thought you were a different eye patch character for a second.
No.
Yeah.
The Count Orlock enters the smoking room alone. I'm terribly sorry. Dr. Black was called away on an emergency, and he had to leave right away.
His whole cravat just drenched in blood.
No, he looks reasonably well put together. So, well, please, help yourselves, relax. If anyone would like a glass of wine, I'm sure my servants would be happy to oblige. Deborah! He walks straight towards you, Effie. Oh, Deborah! He kind of like slight bows to you and holds out his hand as if to take yours.
I'm gonna slap his hand. How dare you?
Oh! What have
How
I
dare
done?
you?
What?
Well, you know about your other family. I found out. I'm just the other woman to you, aren't I? And she's gonna take out the black velvet.
You see him
painting
quickly
of
like
the
look
room.
from woman to woman to woman in the room, like eyes every other woman in the room. looks back at you. What? And what have you brought out?
The black velvet painting of the woman that was in the observatory study.
Oh. You hold it
Yeah.
out. Okay. He looks at it.
Who is she? And who is that lady? And who's that? Why does she smell so bad?
What? He lifts up his eye patch to look with both eyes. Oh, I haven't seen that face in so many years. Oh my goodness, Mariah, where did you get this?
That's for me to know, and you to start talking, I guess. Who is she? How dare you use me like this?
Please, Deborah, I can explain everything. There's nothing untoward whatsoever. Please, come, step over here by the fireside. And he tries to, step you a little bit further away from some of the other folks because clearly everyone's listening to your conversation. Yeah. So he makes a vain attempt, if you will go with him, Yeffy, to kind of move you closer to the fire. Not that it is actually going to help that much, but he tries to, if you're willing to go.
I will shuffle, but I'm not going to leave the room. Yeffy is like, I'm staying in this room, and I'm making eye contact with Indigo the entire time.
So he at least gets you to a spot in the room where basically anyone who wants to listen in will have to make an effort to do so. I've not seen that portrait in so many years. My darling Deborah, I have sailed the seas of time to be by your side. I long for you. Please, she means nothing. She's been dead hundreds of years. You cannot possibly hold me to account to one such as her.
Who is she? And anyway, I did all the sailing, by the way. Your sail, time, travel, whatever that's all about. I don't understand that. I don't understand physics. But I do understand that I was on a boat and I came here. And I made the effort.
Of course, I am so glad you came. I don't know what brought you to my side, Sex, but I would like to explain myself, if I could. It's that picture is, well, to be honest, I was briefly betrothed to that woman. Her name was Maria von Wittgenstein. But she has been dead for a very long time.
Did you kill her?
What? No, of course not.
Okay,
It was
great, good.
was
It's good to know. about your
hundreds of
lovers.
years ago.
Well, it's very upsetting to find out, and then now I see you have these other ladies. This perfume person who smells. Why do you smell, lady? Gosh, it's like a current, just constant.
It is
lavender. I don't need to relax.
It is a bit strong, don't you think? That is
Like she's covered up something.
that is Lady Hertzen. I've only met her recently, but she is, well, we perhaps when we can speak more privately, Deborah. Perhaps in the morning, we can discuss privately. I will be happy to tell you everything.
In the morning.
Well, yes, when we are alone together in each other's arms.
Well, you know what? This wine is kind of, and I have some people I need to take care of, so I don't know if I can stay the night, like that, not that kind of lady.
Oh,
You gotta
no,
work a little
of course not.
harder for this.
My estate is vast. I would be happy to put up all of your friends in their own chambers. I will even give you your own chamber for the evening, for pretense, of course. I would not want to impugn on your honor.
Yeah.
You know, there are many secret passages in this manor.
I bet. Is there a cheesecake bar? Or something?
He immediately turns on one of the servants. You idiot! Why haven't you brought us any dessert yet? Can't you see that Deborah yearns for cheesecake? Bring her a cake of cheese immediately. Bruno, meanwhile, is back in his chamber. Do you have any clever ideas of what you're trying to do?
Yeah, I've come to terms with this now. So I'm going to use the bathroom first because I did drink a bunch of wine.
Great.
And then I'm going to, if that window opens, I'm going to jump out.
Okay. Yeah, it does. It does. And you find yourself in the garden behind the house. Fairly nice formal gardens. Some large topiary cut into unusual shapes, creatures, faces, etc. You're definitely on the back side of the house here, and you can see beyond the topiary there is you can see the south, not south, but the back wall. Actually, I guess that would be the north side. So the north wall on the back of the house.
So we're on like the far north side of the city, right?
That's correct. Yeah, but this is the wall around the estate itself. So the manor itself is surrounded by a wall. If you recall, there are two large outbuildings on either side that are then connected by brick walls about 8 feet tall that circle the entire manor house. Oh, you weren't here before, actually. Now that I'm now remembering, you were.
Yeah, I was not. Well.
Yeah.
Can I make my way to a window back into the smoking room?
Sure. Are you trying to be unseen, or are you just going to climb in? What's your plan?
I just want to reach the window first and then peer in.
You can certainly see light coming from a few windows, and you can hear the murmur of voices, and you can guess that particular window must look into the smoking room.
Okay.
So you head over there.
I'm gonna try just to gently pull my face up and get Quinn's attention, if possible.
Excellent. What kind of test do I want for that?
No test, it works.
To remain unseen, I guess I will take agility.
Okay. 13.
Okay. Great. Okay. Quinn, will you roll me intelligence test, please?
All right. That's no. That's an 8.
Okay.
I'm not clever enough.
Excellent.
I'm too into this thing that's happening right now in front of me.
I mean, Yeffy and Orlock did just have a romantic blowout, so...
It's incredible.
Yep.
I'm just like, oh, what? No, who are these people?
So Bruno, you gently tap on the window, trying to get Quinn's attention, and then suddenly there's a clank and a rattle as the whole window is thrown open, and leaning out of it, partially spilling out of her bodice, you see the Lady Maria Caterina San Silvio de Vialdo y Los Arcos leaning out the window, and she looks around, and she looks down and sees you. Little girl. Yes, what are you doing out in the garden? Nope. That's supposed to be a Spanish accent. Get it right.
That was perfect. That sounded, as far as I know. Could you get my mom, please? I had an accident.
Roll me a fellowship test, Bruno.
17.
17.
Easy.
Excellent.
The disguise is perfect.
So
you look exactly like a little girl who just an accident.
She reaches a hand out and just gives it like a big pinch on the cheek. Aren't you just the cutest little girl?
I am, yes.
Oh, my darling. I will get your mommy for you. Don't you worry.
Thank you, yes.
And who does she think your mommy is the question.
Now, I think I told her that Indigirl was my mom, but...
So, Indigo, the Estalian woman walks up to you and says, "Scusi, your child seems to have made it outside into the gardens." She points.
Oh, my child. Yeah, my child. Yes, of course, Bruno. I think Indigo has definitely, forgetting his disguise, taken a pipe and is just very quickly.
Keeps trying to twirl his mustache. Yeah.
She's outside right now.
She points right out the window, and you can see the little bonnet just appearing at the edge of the window on the other side.
I'll rush over to the window. Bruno, what are you doing out there? What happened to you? I stopped looking at you for like 5 minutes, and you're gone, and you're outside the freaking window.
I'm a little scamp. What can I say? It's tough being a parent. You should have thought of that before you had me, huh? You shouldn't have been so promiscuous.
What is it? What are you doing out there?
The new dwarf, the one who's sitting next to us.
Yeah,
likes clockwork stuff, right?
Yeah.
And we're here to find a clockwork dwarven doodad.
Thing. I have one of those things. Oh, yeah. Indigo will turn around and stand up and be like, excuse me, Quinn?
Mom.
Yeah?
Yes?
Right. Sorry, 1 second. What is it?
You can see Quinn. Indigo's like leaning out an open window. There's breeze coming in.
No. It's cool. Actually, you're good. Bring her over. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Could you come over here for a second?
Of course. Your friend looks like she's having some trouble. Should we help her? No. She's good. Okay.
She can take care of
This
herself.
is a delicious
deal.
cheesecake.
Yeah, it's not yet.
I'm gonna just stuff my face with this cake, and I don't want to have sex with you.
So my child reminded me that we do, in fact, have a piece of clockwork that we found in our travels.
A piece of clockwork.
Yes, Indigo will rummage through his various pockets and pull out the little dwarven bauble that he has.
Yeah, he's got to hoist up the skirt and reach under.
Yes, we found this in a strange tower along the right, and I'll hand Quinn this like dwarven clockwork key.
Okay. Yeah, so it's about the size of a softball, Quinn. It is clearly... it has all sorts of interesting things going on. It's roughly spherical, but it has various levers and dials on it, little switches. It definitely looks very intricate, obviously dwarf work to your eye.
Oh my goodness. If no one stops me, I'm pulling out tools and just kind of trying to break it apart and see what happens.
So you've got it like sitting on the sill of the window. You've got your tools out and
I'm like
you're
propped
tinkering
up
with
and
it.
just kind of immediately. This is the coolest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. I'm just taking it apart and sort of naming the gears as I do it. Oh my god, I haven't seen a gear like this in 50 years. This is incredible, and I'm just sort of going through.
Roll me an intelligence test. Let me see how much info I can give you.
I hope this one is better than the last one. That's a 16.
Excellent.
Thanks.
So yeah, it's fairly intricate work, and there's a couple of things you can tell from it. First of all, that it is clearly, you think, at least partially, must be used as part of a locking mechanism. You feel like it's clearly meant to interface with a larger machine, and that like several of the way the gears stick out of it, that it's meant to interlock with the rest of the machine to sort of, cause it to, engage, right? Sort of transfer motion from part A to part B. But also just from the carvings around the outside, you definitely notice a lot of astrological markings. You're looking at the globe, you're starting to feel like it's sort of like almost like a little astrological chart in of itself.
Oh. Well, where's the rest of it? Do you have the rest of it?
Well,
the part that goes
now
in.
That's
a very interesting question. We have two such devices.
So you have two keys.
Those
Do you know where they?
Orbs. Yeah.
We need the third one, which we think is here. And I'm not a little girl. I'm a man.
Wow.
Check this out. I pull my bonnet up briefly to show my completely bald head. Yeah.
Wow, you fooled me completely.
I know, it's a good disguise.
Party.
Yeah. Ninja Girl's not even my mom. She's a man too.
Wow.
But
yes. I would love to see the rest of this. Are you going into Count Orlock's stuff to get this? Because I would not mind following you. I'm pretty good with the clockwork.
Incredible.
Great.
That's good.
Perfect. Yes. I've heard tell that he has multiple outbuildings out here. I haven't seen them myself, but I assume somebody described them to me.
You saw them as you were approaching the estate.
Bruno, maybe we should try to get Deborah over here for this conversation.
What? No, she's talking to Orlock. She's good.
Yeah, is the conversation between Deborah, is Orlock still like hovering over Yeffy?
Excellent. Good. Wanted to get back to this. Okay. My. So Yeffy, you are standing by the fireside. You have a little plate and a bit of cheesecake. Eating it is fairly tasty, and Orlock is just watching you. Watching you consume that cake unleashes a lion in my codpiece.
Wow, that's an interesting way of phrasing that. You're so glib.
Did he say cake? You have cake up there? Bring me a piece of cake.
The dessert is out.
It's
Get me a piece
delicious
of
cake.
cake.
Will you, my darling? You stay the night?
You know what?
Oh,
Sure. Sure.
we're getting a little echo from someone there.
Oh, yeah, I just heard that too.
Interesting. I think it might be coming from Quinn.
How do I fix it?
Are you accidentally maybe set to output our voices over the speaker rather than your headphones? That would be my guess. I'm gonna turn your volume down a little bit while I chat with Yeffy, and you can try to figure it out. Best of luck.
It does appear to be
Let me
okay.
see what I can do.
I don't hear it anymore.
Appreciate it.
I
Appreciate it.
unplugged it and plugged it back in.
Oh, excellent.
Only way to fix it.
Great. Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. Yeah.
Hooray.
Have you tried turning it off and on again? That's not my line, typically.
Staying the night. I don't know
Yes.
because my companions would probably also like to stay. And
Oh, please, I
could talk
would.
to them.
I should dearly love your sexy companions to stay the night as well. They are welcome
Yeah.
to, in whatever capacity you want, of course. I don't wish to presume, but
Oh no, I'm not into that. No, that's not.
I-
That would be totally ridiculous with the Brunhilde or whatever the hell she's trying to say her name is today. I mean, that's just not. If that would not even happen ever. I mean, ever. Like that would never happen.
It would happen.
Ever. It would not. I mean, who would ever want to do that? God.
Lots of people.
So, anyways,
I understand. I can see that your sexy companions are in fact chaps, and I want you to know I'm cool with it.
yeah, they just like dressing like that sometimes.
That's fine. Who am I to judge?
Yeah, she's really not to the.
He doesn't seem that bad.
Yeah, he's woke. It's
Yeah.
fine.
It's fine.
Only word
I'm
of
fine with that.
horrible vampire.
Great. Well, I'm gonna finish eating this cheesecake. You should,
Oh.
because I need some time. I need some time,
I
to-
see. Oh, yes, of course. Discuss it with your sexy companions. I will just step back here. He takes like 2 steps back and continues to just stare at you.
Oh my god.
Okay. That's fine.
He kind of just blindly fumbles over. A servant hands him a goblet of what you hope is just red wine, and he drinks. Delicious.
Yeah. Why did I think this was a good idea? If he's gonna just kind of keep eye contact a little bit with Orlock, but not direct eye contact because that was a bad idea last time.
Yeah.
And she's gonna kind of shuffle over until she finally bumps into Indigo and Quinn, and she's like, "Okay, thank God you're here."
Are you okay?
Okay.
Did you
Should
break
we get-
cake? Yep. Did you? The cheesecake.
So Indigo will,
I'd like
will
a
pass
slice.
out a plate of cake to Bruno
Excellent,
great,
excellent.
and a cigar if he can find it.
Oh, it's the Bruno living the high life.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Orlock has invited us to stay the night,
Oh, great.
and has also
Yes.
informed me that there's many hidden passageways,
Oh,
and he's
Cool.
also really coming on really hard. Like, I don't even think there's a repellent spray that would of that magnitude that would repel whatever the hell that is that he's putting on there. But it's yeah.
We were gonna slay him anyway, so it's okay.
Yeah,
I mean,
I wouldn't say that right now. Oh, hello, Quinn. Hi.
Hi, Deborah. Is that your name? Is your name Deborah?
No, her name's Yeffy, and we're both men. We've told her everything already. It's cool. Yeah.
I'm not a man.
Yeah, I
Oh,
was
right.
able to.
Yeffy's not a man. Yeah, right.
But yeah, I see that you found the thing. I see that they've shown that to you. That's
Yeah, it's in like
yeah.
4 or 5 pieces, like
Yeah.
on my lap.
Yeah.
You took it apart. Do you know about
Oh,
that kind of thing?
I can put that. I can put it right back together. Don't worry about it. This is super. You know what? You want me to put it? I start putting it back together. It looks like I know what I'm doing.
Indigo.
what?
Quinn might be a fucking genius. She just put that thing back together. I didn't know what that thing was.
Quinn, roll me an intelligence test, please.
Yeah.
Oh,
Pretty impressive.
that's a 14.
Okay. There's only one small extra gear when you're done, which you kind of...
I just pocket it.
You
I pocket
okay,
it.
yeah,
yeah.
I heard Yeffy call me a genius. I'm not giving that up.
Great.
Well, this is good. I mean, Deborah and Indigirl stay up here and distract Orlock. Me and Quinn will go search the outbuildings for the third key, and then we'll stay here tonight. And you can distract Orlock during the night, and we'll hunt around for the other key if it's in the building.
Shh. Pardon me again, Bruno. But when you say
Bruno.
distract,
Yeah,
that's ridiculous.
he seems pretty distracted.
You suggesting that I'm just going to be a sandwich, because that's what I'll be. I'll be a sandwich. And there might be other literal translations to sandwich, but I mean like he's going to eat me.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's a bad idea.
well, don't we've fended him off
let him-
multiple times. Yeah, just stay in the party room with the other highfalutin guests, and he won't try to eat you then.
I don't know if we can trust all of these guests, to be honest. I think that doctor is dead.
Yeah, what
And
are
I
they
think-
up to right now?
They're continuing to mingle about the room. A couple of them are in conversation. You can see the Magister and the lady, the Estalian lady, are having a little chat, both sort of drinking some wine, having a little cake, and sitting on a sofa and eating. Orlock himself is still standing by the fire, still kind of trying to keep an eye on Yeffy, but also it now appears to be having a side conversation with the Estalian Lord in Estalian.
Of course he's a stallion.
I think that's everybody. I think that might be everybody.
Yeah, half the party is in a corner.
Yeah. And then you four are clustered around the window. There's some smoke. There's somebody smoking a cigar here. Maybe it's not clear that cigar smoke is actually on the outside of the window rather than the inside.
I don't. So I think we heard about this woman in blue that from
That's
before.
what I missed.
Didn't Merkel Meyer talk about this is like some woman covered in perfume that guy in Grissenwald was going to work with?
What? The guy
Right?
was supposed to...
Yeah, the meet in Grissenwald. Yeah.
Oh, meet, right, we're supposed to meet... Right, I meant like, this is him and this is me, and we're going to meet him here in Grissenwald, which is my neck, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
The guy in Grissenwald we're going to meet. Is that true? I don't... Man, I really forgot the details of this plan I stumbled us into.
But I don't trust her.
So as you're having this very conversation and looking back over to the group, you realize you kind of had lost track of the lady in blue. But now as you look back to look and see her, you do actually catch her because you see her just walk over to the fireplace, kind of hook her arm under Count Orlock's elbow, and then kind of pull him away from the crowd and start having a very quiet conversation with him as they walk towards the door of the room.
See, we can't trust her at all.
Yeah,
They're up to
you got to keep an eye on them. Go get him, Yeffy.
Me?
Yeffy. No, Yeffy. Use the charm. Give him a...
He does that to me. I don't do that to him.
Give him a wink. Give him a little shimmy. Lady stuff.
What? Okay. All right. I'll try. Hold on. Give me that cigar.
Oh,
Sexy.
okay.
Right? Okay, give me.
I think so. Yeah.
Hey. Get that wine away from me. Where's some vodka? Some cheap booze or something. Like a paint thinner.
A servant very quickly hands you some Kislevite
Service here, though. Yeah.
vodka. Yeah, they are definitely on the spot. Yeffy, are you heading over to where Orlock and the lady in blue are standing?
Yes. Yes, I will. She's looking back at it. Indigo,
Yeah.
like,
Okay. So basically, you have to cross the room. You're basically all the way from the far side of the window, all the way to back to the door that seems to connect back into the dining room. And Orlock seems excited to see you approaching, although the you kind of get this haughty look from the lady in blue. And as you approach, again, you even though you're smoking the cigar, you kind of get that waft of perfume smell as you approach. Deborah, allow me to introduce Lady Hertzen. Lady Hertzen, this is Deborah. And the lady nods at you. Oh, my dear, that's Deborah. Just Deborah. Do you have a surname?
oh, I'm sorry. Is Deborah not enough? Because it's enough for Count Orlock.
Ooh.
Bring it.
I mean, if you're embarrassed of your family, I'm sure it's none of my business.
I'm not embarrassed of my family. My family's embarrassed of me. There's a difference. Oh, did I say that? Oh, crap. You know what?
Oh, we really shouldn't have actually been drinking on our secret undercover mission.
Doesn't matter, Ms. Hertz. Did I get that right, Indigo? I don't know what her name is. I forget it.
Hurts.
Indigo is nowhere, is clear across the other side of the room.
I wanted to go with her. I'll hastily hurry over then.
Okay.
Well, I'm sure you were having just really saucy conversation over here. It looked like a fun time.
Purely
Now?
business, I assure you. Purely my dear Orlock, I must be off, but if you're able to supply what I need, please do write. Oh, yes, my dear. I shall be in touch, don't you worry. Putting on and off that. And she then reaches for the door and starts to open the door. Oh, Deborah, alone at last. And then he just stares at you, Indigo. I said, oh, Deborah, we are alone at last. Take a hint, you damn fool.
I'll defer that.
Yeah.
Going.
Just a few
Oh,
steps
my.
away, though, I'll lean against the fireplace and smoke my pipe.
Oh dear. Well, what did that interestingly smelly woman want?
Oh,
Exactly.
she's some damned expedition out into the hills of all things. Doesn't look like the sort to me, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, she totally looks, boring.
Ah. Oh, though, interestingly, she also seems to know the von Wittgensteins, which I find very curious.
Oh, how does she know them?
I'm not
like a
certain.
relation?
She just brought them up. Something about there was this old chap back in the day, Dagmar, who was quite keen on astronomy or astrology. I always forget which one is the one that helps you get laid and which one is looking up in the sky. I forget.
I don't know. But I'm sure they're both very useful. I think it's probably astronomy because it has ass in it. Why am I talking to you like this? God, this is terrible.
It's not at
They
all.
both have ass in them, don't they? Whatever. Anyway.
Well,
So,
anything
yeah.
that has ass in it, I'm game for. Yes, she wishes to make some kind of expedition to retrieve something that's some object of Dagmar's, I think. I've not seen Mariah's cousin in as long as it's been since I've seen Mariah.
That's her cousin, huh?
Yes,
Interesting.
yes.
Huh.
No, it's the von
Right.
Wittgenstein family. A well-to-do family. There's not that many of us left.
Oh, vampires.
Oh, that's fun. Oh.
I'm sure it's nothing. We don't need her anyway. You've got your sexy companions here. There's plenty. I think that the Divaldo y Loco y los Arcos are going to stay the night as well, Yaffe. Yaffe, forgive me, Deborah. I don't know the name yet. Deborah. Which means there's still plenty for a good time tonight.
Yeah. Well, they do want to stay the night. For some reason, I don't know. Yeah, they do.
Excellent.
Totally,
I'll
you
have
know.
rooms made up immediately. You! He just points to randomly to one seven. You! Go make up rooms for all my guests! Runs off to go. Serving runs off to go make up rooms.
Excellent. So astronomy and astrology, how that's the thing that you're into?
I have a passing interest. One cannot help but learn a few things when one has been around as long as I have. I'm quite an intelligent man in addition to being an incredible lay. I'm not just a hunk of meat, Deborah. You'll find out.
I'm sure you seem quite put together. I see your eyes doing better.
Hop out the window.
Ah! Damn!
Yeah.
You won't be fooled. I thought for sure. I thought you would feel some guilt over the tragedy of my eye, and it would lead to sexy times. He leans in. Leans in very close to you. You are far too sharp for such games, Deborah. Let's stop playing these games, damn it.
Oh, but I have more games to play. And she's just gonna turn around, and Yeffy's just gonna walk away like a faggot.
That was great, Effie. Great job. That was good distraction.
Okay, it's great.
Yeah. Let's get some more alcohol, and I'll sort of wave over a servant for some booze.
Excellent. Servant comes immediately to bring more booze.
Okay, well, that lady is evidently related to his probably and yeah, she's like I don't know how many ha's we have in the room, but that one definitely with the fangs and the sticking and the eating. Yeah. And she's looking for. I think she's looking for the same thing we're looking for. At least she's looking for astrological, elastomina, whatever you say, the stars and stuff and the math.
Yeah.
They're doing that,
Oh, no.
or they're getting laid. I guess she's doing either of those.
Oh.
Ew.
Yeah, like
It seems
yeah.
Wow. All right.
Are Bruno and I
That's
in the
bad.
room still?
Yes,
Are we?
absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, should I go check the outbuildings now, or should I end my bathroom break and come back? What?
What?
Oh,
Well, we're staying the night.
I think that seems like a perfect time to check things out, right?
So
Yeah.
I'll just go check the outbuildings now then.
Yeah. Bruno, do you have everything you need?
Oh, yeah, I got that. Yeah. Plenty of that.
What?
You said you don't know Orlock very well, right, Quinn?
No. I just met him tonight, actually, and he
Great.
is terrible, and I don't want to be in this room anymore.
Oh, great.
He's a vampire.
Yeah. If you just want to hop right out the window, I'll explain the whole deal, and we'll go check out the outbuildings so I don't have to do it by myself, which I'd be fine with, but...
No, I am more than... Can I hold on to this? Is that cool? I'm going to keep holding on to this unless someone takes
That's
it from me.
fine. I don't know what to do with it.
I'm having so much fun. I've taken it apart and put it back together throughout that entire conversation. Like a little fidget.
I just like to keep mine in my pocket too. You know, it's a nice thing if I had
It's
one.
fun. It's like a little. They should make these, like mass produce them. Like you can just play with them, put them away. A toy. Yeah. No.
Well, I
Like,
think
spin it around.
they're clearly some kind of advance. You know what? Let's just go search that. Hop on down here. Let's get the heck out of it. Yeah, great. And just don't actually, have sex with Orlock, right? Right? Don't.
Oh, no. No, don't do that.
No, not you. You can do whatever you want. Yeah, no, Yeffy, you don't.
I was saying that to Yeffy. Oh, harsh. Harsh but fair.
Oh, I see. Okay, no. You can. Maybe nobody does because he's a vampire.
Bruno, it's fine. You should go.
You should go, Bruno.
Yeah,
Just don't
get going.
actually,
It's fine. We're fine.
You should-
Bruno,
you should
I'm just
go,
gonna push
Bruno.
Bruno out the window. So, start pushing him.
You're not actually okay, I'm gonna go.
It's fine. It's fine, Bruno.
I'm already outside.
Bye.
Great.
Then I'll shut the window.
Don't actually. Okay. Don't actually.
Great. So, Bruno and Quinn are now outside. The window has been shut. You go scurrying off to go look into the outbuildings, I presume.
Yes.
Great. If Bruno and Quinn will both roll me intelligence checks as you go about your investigations. Meanwhile, in the room itself, Indigo and Yeffy, you turn back to look into the room and can see that the Estalian couple are now being led out of the room by some servants, which leaves just in the room yourselves and Orlock. And Orlock comes over to where you two are standing by the window, and he says, "The Divaldo y los Arcos are retiring for the evening, so now it's just us."
Oh.
He fetches he leads over to a sideboard and picks up a bottle of wine and pours 3 glasses, hands them out to Indigo and Yeffy, and then he goes and he sits on a sofa and he pats the seat.
I'll sit next to him. Indigo will sit next to him.
And I will sit across from him.
Excellent.
I'm
Well,
gonna go to the bathroom and back.
my friends, you wanted to know a little bit more, I think, about Lady Hertzen. I'd be happy to speak to you if you wish.
I believe we've heard that name before.
Have
in
you?
Bogenhofen.
And what business did you have in Bogenhofen? You didn't speak to the Rugbrothers, did you?
Oh, no, we stayed away from them. We took your advice.
Good, that
You know.
bastard. Rugbrother, I'll never forgive him for stealing Mariah. I mean, they're... Never mind, stay away from them. They're terrible people.
Okay, great.
Yeah. What can you tell us about Miss Hertzen?
Well, I have reason to believe she may be in league with the Red Crown. That's right. You're aptly impressed. You didn't think that I, Count Orlock, would know about the Red Crown, did you? I'm well connected, you know.
Oh, it's amazing because they are in charge of
In charge of
do
nothing. Nothing but
They do that
foul schemes and plots to overthrow the Empire and bring the world to chaos and the ruinous powers. It's disgusting filth.
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
that's bad.
That's right.
Super
It is
bad.
bad.
Not
They
a
must be
fan of
stopped.
them.
They ally themselves with the likes of beastmen and mutants. It's foul. Have you heard the news from the Emperor? Have you seen his statements, his proclamations? It's enough to make you gag.
Very, very surprising.
Yes. Yes,
Given the
well,
state of things.
Yes, well, perhaps one day we will see a time when the Franzes are thrown from power and the von Karsteins will stand up and take what's theirs.
Maybe. Who knows what the future will bring?
When such a time comes, my dear Deborah, I hope that you will be considering joining our forces. I long to give you the kiss.
Ooh.
Yeah, that sounds nice and invasive. Yeah, the kiss sounds. I didn't know it was that serious. I thought, this was just a dinner party.
It's not something we do lightly. And of course, you must be prepared. Enjoy your final sunrises while you can.
Okay. Yeah, when would exactly that occur? Exactly.
Well, whenever you're ready, my dear. But there's plenty of time for that. It isn't necessary for our plans tonight.
Oh, great. Well, you know what? I really like cheesecake, so it would be a downer, to have that in my life anymore.
Indeed. And I do love watching you eat cheesecake.
God.
I think during this, Indigo has poured himself several glasses of wine and just drank them down in one big sip.
Excellent. Bruno and Quinn, how have you done on your intelligence tests?
Bad.
I got an 11.
11?
I got a 3.
And a 3. Okay. So
You have been drinking.
you spend some been drinking. You spend some time moving about on the outside of the grounds, walking through. There's some fairly nice gardens, a lot of topiary for some reason in strange, unusual shapes. Can't quite. Some of them are clearly meant to be animals, and other ones you're like, I have no idea what this is. The outbuildings themselves, you quickly realize that one is clearly a coach house. Has the Count's own personal coaches in it, as well as a stables and whatnot. The other building appears to be servants' quarters, and you notice servants occasionally moving between it, but it seems like, basically the residence, if you will, of the servants on that side of the building.
Yeah. Well, this is a bust.
Is there like a downstairs maybe? Do you know anything about the layout of this space? Do we know anything about the layout of this space?
Sure, it's a building, so it's got a bunch of rooms.
The central manor is very large. It's a 2 stories plus an attic. It might have basements, you're not sure. It is surrounded, it's flanked on either side by these outbuildings, and then the outbuildings are connected via a brick wall that encloses the entire inner grounds as well as the central manor house. Central manor is, again, very large, but when you arrived, Quinn, with the Magister, basically, you arrived via carriage. You were immediately escorted by servants through the gate and up into the house. You remember seeing a very large entry hall with a big, staircase that one could make a big entrance in, and then you were led from there to the dining room. You assume there's a lot more to the house, and you just haven't seen very much of it at all.
Got it. Well, my experience with evil mad scientists, of which I have a moderate amount, is either basement or attic, right? That's where you keep your evil lair? If he's
Well, that makes sense.
Then I'm thinking
A
basement,
vampire,
right?
yeah.
Yeah. Well, I just thought that was the thing that I was just trying to see. Okay, that's cool.
Well, there's nobody else around, so we can say vampire. It's fine.
All right. Well,
Usually,
if he's a
you're
vampire,
right,
I would assume
he is a
basement.
vampire. Yeah.
Yeah.
Basement.
Yeah. What a bust.
Hey, okay. Well, that servant's going to
Unless
think
you
I've
wanna
been in
try-
the bathroom for a long time, so maybe we should go back.
Sure. We can do that. I really think we should figure this out tonight before something happens to your friend.
Oh,
She seems
right.
really cool.
She's whatever. She's all right. I don't mind her, but we're staying the night, so we all have our own rooms, so it's not like a thing, but we are staying the night. So you can hunt around in the middle of the night. Are you
Got
also?
it.
What's your deal with the wizard? Are you and the wizard like an item?
I'm sure I can. I'm sure. No, you asked that already. Still no on that, but I'm sure
Well, I
can.
don't recall getting an answer. Yeah.
It was a weird thing to ask at a dinner party from an 8-year-old.
It's a pretty normal.
No.
Oh, but I see. Oh, sorry. I'm actually a man, right? I'm like a halfling
Right.
man. I'm like 80 years old. It's a normal age in halfling years.
Yeah.
I'm a doctor. Normally, I have kind of a doctor badge. Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. That's a great profession.
Well,
Very
it
noble.
is. I feel like I don't get. You're right. It
Can't
is
survive
noble.
without a
It's
doctor.
self-sacrificing.
It's like
yeah.
the engineering of a person, which I think is quite fascinating. I don't know anything about it, but yeah, I mean, it sounds like people should. Yeah.
Go back. The only head. Oh, are we getting echo again? Shit.
Yeah. Ooh.
Oh.
Some interesting noises there.
Yay!
Yeah, that was an interesting noise.
Maybe better?
Are we still? Maybe. Okay.
Sounds fixed.
Okay.
Yeah, sounds okay. Yes.
All right.
The only hesitancy I have about going back is that I think Orlock wants us to have sex with him.
Yeah, that seems bad for you. Do you want to check out the outhouses a little more thoroughly? I'm okay with that. I would love to see another one of these, very, very much.
Oh, we have a second one. We're actually the third one that we're missing.
I would love to see a third one of them. It would just be really fun to see what the difference is and how they all interlock. I just think they're deeply, deeply fascinating. I've been scribbling down all of the astronomical science and things in a little notebook. I hope that's cool.
Yeah, honestly, we have no idea what that is, so if you could give us even the slightest idea, that would actually be super helpful, because
well,
kind of
if you don't
stumbling
mind,
around
the
in the dark
magister,
on this one.
the magister would almost certainly know. Yeah, the gentleman that I was with, nope, okay. I mean, he's...
The one
I've
you're
known him for
dating?
quite
Is
long
that...
time. Still not dating him, yeah.
I see, okay.
Yep.
He would...
But
it's just...
Would I know any of these symbols? Paul?
You definitely recognize the symbols as like they're basically representative of stars, right? So that it's like it's like the device itself is a star map, right? So it's globe in shape, and parts of it can be twisted and turned to see sort of different parts of what the night sky, what constellations might appear during different seasons and whatnot.
And I assume I don't know enough about astronomy to like actually be able to triangulate it or anything. I just understand what it is.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. You get the general gist of it, but you're not sure to what end. Like, why would you want this, and what does it do? You're not sure.
Cool. These are so cool. Bruna.
Yeah.
What's your... Bruno? Is it Bruno?
Oh, Bruno. Yeah.
Bruno.
I know Bruna is kind of my little human girl name. It's similar to my own, so I don't forget it.
Yeah, no, that's very smart.
It's
That's very smart.
clever, yeah.
While you two are moving about in the grounds, you've visited sort of both of the outbuildings and sort of determined, yep, servants' hall, carriage house, etc. You're actually like near the carriage house, just kind of in the gardens, near some topiary, and it's fairly dark out there. No lights. No one's set out any torches or lanterns or anything in the gardens because no one was expected to be here. So you're fairly well concealed. In fact, when you can't help but overhear, a couple of servants have brought apparently the magister to his carriage in the carriage house, and you can hear the horses being hitched and whatnot, and you overhear them speaking briefly, and you hear the magister saying, "Well, tell Orlock that the debt is paid. I can't keep abandoning dwarf women at his estates. It's unseemly. People will start to ask questions." And then you hear there's some kind of just sort of a mumbled like yes sir from the servant, but then that's overwhelmed by the sound of horses and harness, as it sounds like the magister is getting into a cart and leaving.
Oh,
Men,
you're also
every
here
man.
for the sex. I see.
I was...
Okay. So we're all here
Okay.
for the same reason, I guess.
I would not like to be here for the sex, if that's all right with the team.
Right. No, none of us would be, but... Oh, well, here we go. I reach into my dress and pull out one of my steaks that I have. Just,
Yeah.
you're gonna want this.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. I put it in with my tools.
Excellent.
It seems
There you go,
very
yeah.
important. Maybe I can crash with one of you. it probably makes sense if more than one person stays in Yeffy's room anyway, because, again, I'm extremely
I'll stay in
concerned.
Yeffy's room. Yeah, I'll watch out for
Not
Yeffy.
you.
You stay
Maybe not
with
you.
Indigo, my mom. Yeah, no, I'll stay with Yeffy. It's totally fine. I've got way more stakes where that came from. I really just like half a dozen on here. It's there's a lot of pockets in this little girl's dress, so it's cool.
Very good. Maybe we should reconnect and figure that out if there's nothing else outside.
Apparently.
Yeah,
Well, I
you
guess
know,
I'm glad we didn't. Guess I'm glad we didn't show that guy the thing. Oh man, woo, betrayal, huh? Am I right? That was tough. That was
I've
tough
known
to
that
hear.
guy for ages. Oh, God.
And the whole time he just wanted to bring you for a vampire sex party.
You think you know a guy.
All right. So the two of you make your way back to the building by whatever means you want, sneaking into windows or just knocking at a door. Doesn't seem to matter. The servants are surprisingly unfazed by any unusual entrances. Back in the actual smoking room, where it's now just Indigo and Yeffy and Orlock. Orlock, some servants come in and kind of motion to Orlock, and he says, "Well, my friends, your room's all ready, I'm told. Please make yourselves comfortable. I shall head up to the master suite and prepare myself."
Thank you,
Great.
Count Orlock.
Oh yes. Was there anything else? Did you? It can wait. We'll speak again over breakfast. And he heads out of the room. And there's still one or two servants in the room with the two of you. And at this point, we will say that Bruno and Quinn re-emerge, perhaps at the window.
Thank God. Take up the window. Come here. Oh, thank goodness you're both okay. Whew.
Oh, yeah, we're good.
Yeah.
What's going on here? Oh, Quinn's friend actually was he brought her here for the sex thing too. Same, yeah.
What?
Apparently,
Yeah, we're all
apparently it's a
kinda in
thing
the
for
same.
dwarf girls. It's the worst thing I've ever heard in my life.
Oh,
And-
you're both dwarf women. That's fun.
Oh, you know what?
Great.
He's probably trying to get a replacement for you and just having, oh my god, I want nothing to do with this. Oh my god.
Okay, listen,
So
we
you
only
want
have
to
a
kill
few
this guy,
hours.
right?
Possibly, if we can. We also want to loot his house because usually he has some really good stuff and it goes for a really high price. And two, we gotta find, or three, we gotta find that other ball which we think he might
The
have.
key, yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
And then
at
we can
what
take it
point
back to
do you
the.
think we have sex with him? When do you think we squeeze that in?
What? Bruno, we're not having sex with Count Orlock.
If you want
Is
to.
that what you're here for? Is that what you're here for? Just you know
No,
what you
I'm
can do
here for all
then?
the
Just
stuff.
sneak
Just-
into my bedroom that he prepared for me, put on one of my nightgowns, and get in whatever position you want because that's what he. Oh my God, Bruno, what is wrong with you? We're gonna go
that
loot some
would be
shit, and we're gonna go find an artifact so that we could go and get into that trap door in the weird observatory place.
Oh,
Right, yeah. Exactly.
Oh, that's what those orbs are. They're keys
love
to
it.
a
Yeah,
door in the
yeah.
Yeah,
Cool.
you filled her in, right? You told her.
we mostly
Oh,
talked
like
about
a vampire.
vampires. Yes,
Yeah.
I heard that.
Because she could
There's
probably help. 'Cause She
vampires.
could take it apart and put it back together. She could probably
Yeah,
figure out
that's
the
good.
locking mechanism.
Right, because we have no idea what it is. We got a little hung up on the fact that we're all here to have sex with Orlock, but
Did we?
that kind
Yeah? Because,
that does seem to be the case.
is
What do
it?
you think a dinner party is, Bruno?
I don't know. I'm a little girl.
Oh
I
my
don't know what a dinner
God,
party is.
That kind of dinner party?
It's clearly that kind of dinner party. That's clearly it. That's nothing about this is not sex party. That's pretty.
He killed a man tonight.
What?
The doctor is dead.
Which one was the
We all
doctor?
We all saw that happen.
He was the man
right?
sitting on my right. The tall, dark fellow.
Oh, I was way down at the other. I wasn't really paying attention, honestly. There was a lot going
He
on.
looked like a physician. He probably had a certificate, possibly a
Oh.
license. Yeah.
Oh. Where do you think...
Well, now we can never ask him, can we? Because he was eaten.
I'm actually just mere
Indigo-
curious about the
Indigo
location of...
Stuffs whatever expensive things he can find around him in his pockets, just out of like stress, like
Indigo's got
cigars
it
in his
down.
pockets,
That's not a dress, yeah.
like it's small cakes.
Roll me agility test there, Indigo.
Yeah. Oh, there's servants all over the place. 17.
Okay. Yeah, you managed to hide a few odds and ends into your pockets until finally you realize that there are servants everywhere, and you start to lose your nerve.
You know what would be great to have in a situation like this? A bunch of holy water and dozens of steaks.
I thought you said you had dozens of steaks.
I do. That's why I'm pulling. Yeah, no, I'm sorry. I pulled these out. Okay, here. So everybody take a steak, and everybody take a little holy water. Yeah.
Yeah.
I take it.
Do you want me to hold it in my hand?
No, let's put in our garters.
Oh,
What?
Is that like a cup
Okay.
or what?
What?
I've
the
only
thing
got
that
it in
holds
this
up-
flask. Is what I'm saying.
Oh,
So I'm going
right.
to pour this into some wine glasses, and then you can take those. Yeah.
Okay. What?
Great. Okay, and then let's go
Sure,
up to
okay.
Orlock's bedroom, and let's either slay him or
Slay him.
slay him.
Ah.
engage in the group sex. Okay, great. Yeah.
You know
Okay.
what? Bruno! What has happened to you? Did he look you in the eyes? Did he stare at you? Did you feel like
No,
you were like at home and it was really soft and nice and then you just wanted to be held?
No,
What?
although I would like to be held in general. It's just I've had an incredible amount of wine, and I'm a very small person, so they kept. It wasn't grape juice. It wasn't grape juice at all. It was wine the whole time.
Wow.
And it's from Bretonia. We smuggled it.
You know
here.
what?
We
Before we
smuggled
try-
it here, and it's really
It's
something.
very good.
It is pretty
Before
good.
we try to kill him, or evidently
You want to do the group sex thing?
no.
Test it out.
No, that's oh my god. No. No. Before that, I would like to see if we can, find out if he has any other information about that place that we found, or something like that. So maybe when the servants,
Yeah.
maybe we could just say, "Hey, I really like to read a book before bed." Is there
They're
a
gonna think that
library?
means a sex thing. They're gonna think that that's
Justin?
like an innuendo.
At this point, I
Are
feel like
they?
they would write a book for you if you told them you wanted a book on something.
It
They're
does
very
seem.
concerned.
I'll go up to one of the Yeffy's going to
Yeah.
go up to one of the servants, and she'll say,
Yes.
"My friends and I have a hard time preparing for bed, and we're very interested in any books or a library of some sort. Maybe Orlock has some things on. We love stargazing as well, so anything about stars, or maybe a curio cabinet."
Yes, Mum. I can escort you to the library if you like. Please follow me.
Yes, thank you. Come on, let's go.
Hand, if you could do whatever you were doing before to stop the echo, it seems to be back again.
Oh man.
Yeah, it keeps. I don't know why it keeps coming back.
Weird.
Great. Yeah.
I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, that's interesting. We can talk
Incredible
about
how easy it is to fix.
Yeah.
Very strange.
I just-
Okay,
I will have to figure it out later because I am just plugging it in and plugging it out again.
it's great. We'll take it. So, okay. So the servant escorts Yeffy and everyone, or just Yeffy? Who's going?
I moved
I
people
think we
on.
have
Everyone. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, he escorts you back into the main foyer, and then down a long hall, and eventually to a room that he opens up a door, and it's actually a 2-story room Huge room full of books. It's got sort of a like one story up. It's got like a balcony that runs around the perimeter of the room, and in one corner there's like an iron spiral stair that goes up to the balcony. But basically 2 stories, floor to ceiling, of just bookshelves, just tons and tons of books. And he says, "You're welcome to peruse as late as you like. Please tell me if there's anything I can do to help."
I will have another glass of wine, thank you.
Of course, of course.
Is there some kind of Dewey Decimal System or something? So we can see where index or something?
I'm afraid my lord is uncareful with his organization.
How about books on stars charts? Because we would love to see those. Old buildings are off of the Reich on the way here. I don't know what direction we were going in, but that's fun. And how about maybe family albums? Because I would just love to see Orlock as a baby. You know, that's adorable. And maybe things on dwarven guilds like engineering, because they make fun and interesting objects, and we'd like to see the intricacies of those things.
And you're saying all these things, Yeffy, to the servant.
Servant, yeah.
Who just I'm terribly sorry, madam, but I don't read.
Oh, that's so. That's so sad. I'm so sorry. That must be hard for you and other people who can't read.
If there's anything you need, please just pull the rope. He points to a rope dangling, and then he kind of just makes his exit from the room and leaves the 4 of you there in the library.
Yeffy, if there's something you want to know about dwarven guilds, I belong to the engineering. I would be happy to answer your questions. That I can do. Is that a problem?
No. That's just that's interesting and fun, and
They're okay.
Well, it's just that they're all right. They're kind of stuffy, but you're not. You seem very nice. But it's just that object that we have there. Well, it was obviously made by dwarven engineers of some sort or a kind. So thought maybe
there would be something. Yeah, like what it goes to, or if we had to break into one that needed 3 but we only have 2, how would we do that? Kind of thing. Oh, well, I have sort of a rough idea. I could maybe write you out something, although I'd love to see it myself. It should be relatively simple, I think.
But here's the second. Here's the second one. I could give you the second one.
Oh my god! Yes, please. Oh wow. What's the difference between them? Can I tell?
So they're definitely they're clearly a pair. They're definitely similar make, similar design. They seem to be laid out slightly differently. You would guess that they perhaps represent different positions on the physical globe. Perhaps you feel like there's some kind of orientation with them with regard to where they might represent on the old world itself when looking up into the sky.
Ooh, I say that. I tell everybody. Just sort of vaguely what I think.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So if you had a third one, would it just tell you where something is? It would make a map.
I think it might. It would be helpful to the astronomy signs. Great idea. We should definitely look into that. And it would be helpful to find the third one. Definitely.
So, I'm going to start looking through the books for something that reminds me of a book I saw in the dwarf tower that we were, or the base of it.
Mm-hmm.
If that is possible.
Okay. You start looking through the books. Give me an intelligence test.
Okay, 16.
Okay, so you start poking through the books and digging through them. Eventually, you find it takes a little time, an hour or so of just prodding through books and just pulling them at random, because it really does seem like there's not much organization here. If anything, the books are maybe organized by their physical size and the color of their binding. And so you're pulling out books and looking at them. And as you do find a couple of books that are generally on astronomy, which that looks similar to some of the books that you saw at that place, at least in terms of topic, if not physically looking similar.
Okay.
As you are doing this, about an hour has passed. You've all been in the library for about an hour now, chatting and drinking wine and looking at books. A section of the bookshelf swings open, and you can see a dark hallway behind it, and emerging from it is Orlock, and he looks a bit disheveled. He's just he's no longer got the cravat on. If I can get this thing off. He looks a bit disheveled and a little almost a little flush, although he's typically quite pale, but he looks almost a little flush. And he comes in and kind of leans his hand up against the bookshelf, and he says, here you are. Those stallions are quite a pair, let me tell you. Whew, I'm knackered. Comes over and he sits down. He sits down next to he sits down next to you, Quinn, where you've been looking at the devices, and he looks at you and he goes, "Dagmar's balls."
I think. It's a nice library you have.
Oh,
here.
Thank you. What was your name again? I can't remember.
Quinn.
Quinn.
Fireforged. Quinn. Yep.
Nice to see you again, Quinn. You've got a lovely pair of balls there. Where did you get those?
I made them.
That's obviously not true.
All right, I tried. I found them. I work for the guild, the engineering guild. They had some extra balls, and I took them. And I heard that you had a third one, which is why I'm here for the third one.
Any rumors of my having 3 balls is definitely false, and I
Can't set him up like that.
That was my mistake. No, just one of the 3.
They look an awful lot like Dagmar's balls. May I hold your balls?
I give him 1 ball, the one that's missing a gear.
He kind of looks it over and he manipulates it a little bit, twists it, clicks a couple of settings. Yep, looks like Dagmar's work. And he hands it back.
And what were Dagmar's balls for?
I don't know. He's always fiddling about with them.
It's not a was, it's an is.
I mean was. He's surely dead by now.
I see.
Oh, where was he before?
Where? About. He traveled sometimes. Moved about.
Who's Dagmar?
Yeah, that's
Dagmar von
Wittgenstein.
Wittgenstein.
Telepathy.
That's right. Dagmar von Wittgenstein. He was Mariah's cousin.
Mariah, your ex-lover.
Quite keen on the whole astronomy thing. He was always mucking up my maps, drawing lines all over them about movements of the moon and nonsense like that. I say, it was quite a pain in the arse.
The astrology.
He ruined some of my best maps, the little bastard.
Do you still have any of these destroyed maps that
Interesting.
No,
we could get rid of for you?
I never kept them after he'd ruined them with his drawings.
Right, that sounds very annoying. And do you know what happened to Dagmar's third ball? You don't have Dagmar's third ball.
No, of course not. Why would I keep a man's balls about?
It's a good question.
You seem like you've
Fair.
collected a lot of unique and interesting items here.
Are you sure you're not in league with that Hertzen lady?
Oh, she's
No,
trying to find
she-
Dagmar's third ball.
She was asking a lot of the same kinds of questions after Dagmar's old things.
No,
Talking
we're just here
about-
for the sex, obviously.
Ah, good.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, yes. Something about yes. If Dagmar still had his things, they would have been on him or in one of his estates, I suppose. I'm sure I don't know.
Oh.
Well,
happen to
maybe
know
we
where
can
it
ask Miss Hertzen if we want to know more about that.
If you can catch her before she leaves for the hills.
Yes. I think
And
we'll
which
be running
hills are
into her
those?
again.
An excellent question. The Barren Hills, I think, is where she was headed.
Wow. Well, that's super interesting.
Thanks. Thank you.
Yeah.
And good night.
And good night.
Did that work?
Boy, if there's one thing that I find even more interesting, it's... And I take off my fake my dress. I don't know what I'm wearing underneath it.
The sailing
Well,
suit.
it's about time. And he
It's
also
cool.
drops his trousers.
Oh!
No.
Not exactly the way I saw it going. Oh, but this is such a great library. We couldn't do anything in here.
Oh, why not?
Where does that... Because there's so many books. These books, I'd hate to get them covered in sweat and other things.
All right. I will.
Where does that secret passage go?
Oh, come along and I'll show you. Follow me. He shuffles. He shuffles with his trousers still around his ankles, and his long shirt tails just barely covering his modesty. He shuffles back into the secret passage.
Bruno, what are you doing?
What are you
I-
doing,
I-
Bruno? Why?
I pull out one of my stakes and my holy water in one hand. Okay, here we go. Let's do
Excellent.
the
man.
sex.
Is this what we're doing? Is this what we're doing? Okay.
All right. You head over. You've got the stuff out. You head over to the secret passage, and we will have to wrap there for the night because we are out of time.
What the fuck?
Just your hand up. Oh my god!
I don't know if you're prepared to kill this vampire.
I think Bruno's gonna have sex with this vampire.
I don't want to have sex with a vampire.
I don't
That's
want
not
to
a-
a vampire.
Bruno can take care of it for you, I think. I think this is a different story now.
No,
Oh my
it
goodness.
is not. It's
Oh
the
my
story of
goodness.
playing the vampire.
Okay.
Well, this is the weirdest party ever.
Look, I don't know what we thought we were getting into.
Absolutely not whatever this was.
Nope.
I mean,
Oh man!
I didn't see a fishbowl anywhere to put my keys, so I don't know what he was thinking. But, oh my god! Oh, Orlock.
Excellent. Well, thank you everyone for joining us tonight. I hope you enjoyed our crazy misadventures. And tune in next week to find out what becomes of Orlock. Does he die the big death or the little death?
No, come on. No. Oh, man. This was a weird one to bring Andy in on for her guest.
Yeah, I was thinking that. I'm like, oh god, she's gonna think we're
Only
fucking
sex
weirdos.
Yeah.
Damn.
Most of our games have significantly less sex parties.
A whole lot less. Like
Zero sex parties.
Zero.
Sorry.
Usually zero. It's typically zero. Kind of spiked here at 1.
Yep.
This was certainly one.
All right. Thank you so much, Andy, for joining us. Thank you to all our viewers for tuning in, and we'll see you next week. Good night, everybody.
right.
Good night.
Ooh, the